What you're about to see is my favorite sequence from competitive crokinole. Garret, Tracey here from the Tracey Boards team, and today we are going to do two things. One, for more novice players, we are going to outline why it makes sense to roll to the outside and when you should do so. But we're also going to do a shot-by-shot analysis of this round. And the reason is these players are the top of the game, and I want to give some appreciation not just to the strategic thinking behind their shots, but the skill they have to pull these off. So with that, let's get to it. Let's start with some context. This is from the 2024 World Crokinole Championships round of 16. On your left is Langill, who is currently ranked 4th in the National Crokinole Association standings, and on your right is Reinman, two-time and current World Crokinole champion. So needless to say, top level crokinole play going on here. This is the third round in an 8-minute match, and Langill has hammer, which is very important, but we'll get back to that. The game starts as it normally would with a 20s race. Each player scores 3 20s each. Reinman is the first to miss. Now, first of all, note how he goes long. For Langill to convert a 20, he would have to hit a follow through, which is very difficult. So that's why he doesn't try to convert here. Now, why does he roll out? Since he has hammer, if he's able to keep the board situation the same or similar to this, where they're tied in 20s and there's only one disc in play, Langill's disc by the end of this, he will win the round. Since he wants to make sure Reinman doesn't convert a 20, he doesn't just get the off, but he also rolls to the outside. And let's take a second to appreciate just how difficult this shot is. It's essentially a reverse angle in, where he's trying to angle out to make sure his disc doesn't catch a post, to make sure the opponent disc doesn't catch a post, to make sure it doesn't lip over the center hole or go too short or he doesn't go too long. Tons of variables here. It's a highly underrated shot, and Langill pulls it off. And now this is where it gets interesting, because now Reinman's got to play the game of let's get back in, and Langill's playing the game of let's keep play to the outside. You'll notice where Langill rolls, Reinman doesn't have a clean line at the 20, so all he's trying to do is get play back to the center. He ends up rolling between the posts. Now, if Langill wants to get the off, he has to go through the post on the inside to hit Reinman's disc. He could just tap it from the outside, but then another one of Reinman's buttons gets in play. More variables. Langill doesn't want that. So he carves in and he sticks beautifully between the posts. Again, let's appreciate how difficult this is. Most players, when they go for that shot, they cut it kind of wide, and one, either they don't get the off, or two, they roll over closer to the opponent's side, potentially setting up 20 opportunities. So Langill sticks right here, keeps play dead center, pretty much dead center between the posts. Now, Langill's shot doesn't stay perfectly. It comes in a little bit, and that's all Reinman needs. And you see him hit off that, catch a post, and almost get a 20. And let me tell you, dead serious, that was intentional. That was no fluke. That's what Reinman meant to do, and he just barely comes up short. Langill responds by rolling out again. Again, we've discussed how difficult that shot is. This time, though, he rolls to the perfect spot where Reinman can't angle in at all. That post is right in the way. He can't even carve into that space in between directly. So what does Reinman do? He angles, catches a post on the outside to get back into the 15. Freaking immaculate. Again, fully intentional by this player. But Reinman leaves just a little bit, enough of a gap for Langill to roll back to the outside where Reinman can't get in, period. And he finally concedes the round. Langill wins, bringing the score 4-2. Whew, compose yourself. All right, I'm done fanboying. What can you learn from this video? This is an extension on last week's strategy breakdown that whenever you're tied in 20s and with the hammer, or you're up in the 20s cup, that is a great time to roll to the outside, get play away from where your opponents can get a 20. And it shows some examples of how you can bring play back to the center if you're put in that situation. And thirdly, it just shows how great these players are, the skill and strategic thinking that goes behind each shot, even when it isn't a fancy 20. It's absolutely immaculate. We are going to follow up on this series. However, tomorrow is the Elmira Winter Crokinole Classic. Not only will I be posting live updates through the day photos of where people are and who's moving on through the finals, but I'll also be doing video coverage coming out Tuesday, January 21st of the semifinal and finals rounds from this tournament, so make sure to stay tuned. In the meantime, I want you to watch this next clip and tell me, what was Josh Carfiello trying to do in this shot? Put in the comments below what he's trying to do and why, and as always, happy flicking.